And we've already touched on Silverwolf, including her nerf. If you want to see that video, I've already done it. There's a nice discussion going on right now. Be sure to go check that one out. But the main thing that was nerfed about her is that she can't give a damage taken debuff to people by implanting a weakness if someone already has that weakness. But thankfully, there's going to be a solution to that if you were worried about that part of her kit. Because not only did they change Silverwolf, but they're changing the light cone that she has as well. And before, it basically made you do a little bit of bonus damage in some weird way, equal to the amount of debuffs on enemies for Silverwolf. It was kind of fine, but also pretty bad at the same time. Here's what we're looking at now. It's going to increase your effect hit rate, which is going to be 24% at super imposition level 1. But in addition to that, when you have 3 or more debuffs on an enemy, you get 12% crit rate. And when you use your basic, your skill, or your ultimate, there's a 100% base chance to implant an Aether Code on a random target that does not have it yet. And here's the real deal. Aether Code is going to increase the damage that enemy takes by 12% at super imposition level 1. Now, 12% damage boost doesn't sound that big, but honestly, if you break the damage formula down, this is a pretty substantial increase in the amount of damage you can actually get. And if you're not the biggest math nerd, don't worry, I can explain it for you here. If you played Genshin before, you know that damage taken as a debuff is really a buff, right? Mona's damage taken is really like a damage buff, and it's additive with all the other damage buffs. But in Honkai, that's not true at all. If you look right here, the green part of the formula is the damage taken multiplier. It's its own multiplier in the formula, which if you're not a giant math nerd or a big wizard, it's a pretty big deal because it's a brand new multiplier you can add to your calculation. It's not like if you already have a 50% damage bonus and add another 50% damage bonus and they're added on additively. You're not getting the real 50%. You're actually increasing your damage by 25% because they're additive. With this though, because it's a new part of the formula, you're getting the full benefit from it, meaning that you're going to get the full 12 to 24%, depending on the imposition rank of your card, or I guess I should say light cone in this instance for this game. Either way though, you're gonna be affecting the damage formula in a brand new way with this light cone. Anything that gives something a damage increase multiplier is its own unique multiplier. Unlike Mona in Genshin Impact, that's actually a damage bonus that's applied as a debuff, which is then retroactively applied as a buff to your character. This game actually just treats it as its own thing, which is huge. So if you're doing 100k before you have this light cone in your party, well, and you get the 12% bonus damage, now you're doing 112,000 or 124,000 if you have the max superposition one, because you're a top tier whale and you want to beat everything as easily as possible. So if you get this light cone, you're basically undoing a little bit of the nerf that they did for Silverwolf. She's still insane, but the one thing she was missing was being unable to increase the damage for characters that already match an enemy that already has a weakness type associated with them. And this is just going to give her another way to help out your team. You already have the massive defense breaks from her skills and her ultimates. You're already going to be able to apply weakness to something that's not weak to an element already in your party. And now with the light cone, you're going to have a damage taken bonus for enemies that you're fighting with Silverwolf in your party. On top of that, she also has some nice little multipliers, so the crit chance increase for her is going to help increase her damage consistency for your party too. The one downside to this change is that before her light cone is kind of bad, so you could just ignore it. Now you kind of want it because it's just so flexible. And yes, you need the 3 different debuffs to get the bonus crit chance, but we're looking at a character that has attack down, speed down, defense down, can do entanglement if she breaks something, and it also has this new bug that she plants on people, which is also probably a debuff. Not to mention the actual debuff from her skill that's going to reduce the damage resistance of the enemy too. So she should have at least 6 debuffs to try to proc this ability, which means she's going to get a lot of value out of this light cone. And not to mention that it also does increase your effect rate as well. So you can land these on a ton of different tankier enemies in harder content like the Memories of Chaos. But like I said before, if you want to see more stuff on Silverwolf in her kit, in my opinion, on her, go check out the other video. This light cone change is going to make her even better than before though. I'm looking forward to it, but now I gotta save a couple extra things so I can get the light cone with the character. Let me know how you feel about that down below, and have a great rest of your weekend.